are live. Game 3 is underway. We've got Shakura's Plateau, and Chill, you and I have casted a ton of Shakura Plateau games that have involved both players on the bottom or both players on the top. And I bet if you comb through the historical data, you might find that this is one of few cross positions Shakura's Plateau that we've casted.
Yeah, you know, that's really an interesting point. And with MLG coming up and releasing their map pool, they've kind of set a precedence where players are finding that it's okay to modify the starting positions of a map. I believe they specifically have forced Metalopolis to not give close positions, and I believe they've also considered, if not confirmed, forcing cross positions on Xel'Naga. Really opens up the possibilities. You know, not so much in the Terran versus Terran matchup, but if a Zerg is involved, there's definitely going to be a push through the back lane and very difficult for Zerg to deal with. So that's something that all major tournaments have now considered, modifying the start positions to give, you know, kind of not force a long game, but kind of lead it down that path. Just scoot it down there.
Yeah, yeah, and you know it will be argued, especially that, because knowing you can be cross positions too can change some of your early game strategy.
Right.
So I think it will take a while for that to balance out. Anyway, let's kind of talk about what we've got going here for the game, which is nearly identical on both sides, down to the scout in the middle. Like they're seriously hitting the same hexes on their way over to their opponent's base. In fact, they're even going to scout the wrong direction. You know why? Because they're like, dude, every game in the TSL qualifiers has been like close, you know, same position on Shakura. So I'm going to scout that way. They're both going to be disappointed.
They both pull back at exactly the same time. You can see we have the same X pattern drilled into the Fog of War, and so yeah, really identical here. You can see both Marines coming out to try to deal with the SCVs. Strelok's dark blue SCV gonna get in with 3 HP. He's gonna see that there's no factory on the way, but gonna get taken out. Meanwhile, Select's SCV pushed back. Let's see, factory for both player. Yes for Strelok. No for Select. Okay, so he's going to put it right in the back area of his base. This leads me to believe that he's not planning to use factory units early on, just wants the add-on so he can hide his starport back there.
Yep, I would agree with that as well. And a couple more Marines going to reinforce the front here of Strelok, while a couple Marines will reinforce the middle for Select, a player who always opts to try to have as much vision of the map as he can. You can see he's also got the upper Xel'Naga tower as well. More supply depots going down. Factory is about ready to finish, so we'll see where that goes. And refineries are up on both players as well. And I'm curious to see where they're going to go for that. I mean, we got the starport going up for both players right now. No, we don't. Not yet for Select.
Yeah, really interesting. Select took his second gas quite late compared to Strelok and compared to standard tech opening TVT. We can see Strelok doing the more standard version. He's got his starport on the way, putting the one Hellion out to kind of exert his dominance on the map, deal with any scouting SCVs, harass any Marines sitting by the Xel'Naga watchtowers. That's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to get a rude surprise as it drives through the tall, brushy weeds there. And as I was saying, Select putting his starport. Okay, so Select is going to go for Blue Flame Hellions. Kind of a reversal of fortunes here as he's doing the exact same thing Strelok did to him in game 2, hiding his starport, hiding his factory a little bit, and gonna drop those 3 Blue Flame Hellions right onto the main base of Strelok.
Some good micro there by Select, keeping his 2 Marines alive. He's going to run his hurt one back to base, while the more healthy one will actually just go down and check near the expansion. There are 4 Marines and this Hellion outforce Strelok, a little bit stronger force, and that did come into play in some of the previous games. There is a scan by Select. Nothing. And yeah, you're right. It just it's like, oh, there's a barracks. Well, yeah. There is a barracks with a reactor. Maybe you definitely saw it. So command center is going to go out. Here is a Banshee coming out for Strelok, and that's what I think will be interesting here, as we have Select kind of going, okay, taste of your own medicine here. Meanwhile, we've got, I think Strelok playing pretty consistently here. Still going to have that Banshee out. And let's see, he's going to head over to the natural first, and then we'll see where he goes from there.
I really question getting a Banshee out without Cloak. Yeah, a Banshee is really nice, can do some harassment, but I mean, one Viking, as we see Select is making here, completely shuts down the Banshee. So Banshee now going to move into the main base. A little bit of micro battle going on back and forth as the Banshee scoots around, but here comes a Viking, which is going to right-click onto the Banshee. No, actually, the Banshee getting away. Meanwhile, on the eastern side of the map, we have a medevac taking the long, long way around, trying to get into the main base of Strelok, and we can see Strelok has positioned his army largely on the western edge of his base, because that's where you would expect a drop to come in. I'm going to go ahead and put up Strelok's vision, see how quickly he reacts. Medevac is not yet in his vision. Now it is in his vision, moving in. He's going to drop that off. He's very quick to react, but the Blue Flame Hellions right in there, going to deal a lot of damage to the, actually not too much damage. Siege mode going up, going to take out one Hellion. Second Hellion gets a final shot before getting taken out. And all things considered, not that successful of a drop compared to how it could have been. We have the orbital command up for Strelok. We have 25 SCVs compared to 25 Strelok versus Select. So not that much damage taken. And now the Blue Flame research, not that great. It's not something you want in the mid game. So it's kind of, it deals the early damage. If you don't deal the damage, then it's not that great of a thing to have. We can see Select way behind in his expansion timing. Command Center just barely 2/3 done now.
Yeah, and you also see, just to reinforce what you said, no more Hellions coming out at this point, switching over to siege tanks with siege mode. He does have one, no, he doesn't have any out anymore at all. Just the one out is Strelok over on the side in the middle. And so that is said and done. Now, he could produce them later on, do some harassment of some of these other expansions. But as you mentioned, it's not any longer a core part of your army, and it never really was in the first place. Now, this little force here by Strelok at the natural, we've got a Banshee, we've got a Viking, a Raven, a few Marines, and a couple of tanks that do have siege already. Stim is going to be done well before we see Select Stim done. And this could just end up being a devastating push based off of the units that we see from Select right now.
Now, of course, the casters don't know the result of these games, but I just want to reinforce, just in case this is a 3-0 and we have Strelok moving on, to stick around after the broadcast, as we're going to be revealing the full brackets of the TSL3 and having analysis with Liquid Tyler on as well. And also, as part of that, going to be revealing which foreigners are going to be up against the big name Koreans. So you're definitely going to want to stick around after this.
Hell yes. It'll be good times indeed. So we do have a fully loaded medevac from Strelok making its way around the north side of the map. He's going to see if he can pull off the same sort of shenanigans. Meanwhile, he's going to take a Banshee in through the middle. And when I say through the middle, I mean like right into an opening that is obviously going to hurt him. And we got a point defense drone going out there. We'll stop a few of these shots here from the Vikings. And here, moving forward, those Marines. There is actually not... Oh, yes, there's two siege tanks up on the ledge there. So he doesn't want to attack into this by any means.
Yeah, but there's also a drop going on for Strelok in the main base of Select, going to force all the SCVs to run away. Meanwhile, he took out a turret, going to take out a supply depot, going to just be annoying. And this is the most basic move in StarCraft. Attack one position, drop another position. Very, very easy to execute, very difficult to defend. We can see Select defending it fairly well there, now bringing all his SCVs back, but he's lost a little bit of mining time, and he's lost a little bit of focus. We can see the supplies 99 for Strelok, 68 for Select. Big, big disparity.
Yeah, especially in those harvesters, 35 to 47 right now. The natural of Strelok has been up for quite some time. He's got just a little force out here in the front, but look at, he's already doing some key damage to those units from Select. A few volleys from the siege tanks headed in there, hitting a lot of those Marines. And he's effectively going to have a really solid contain here on his opponent, dropping down a few things. He's going to go ahead and move forward, takes vision of the top. Can't believe he's actually going to attack into this, but knows that he's got enough, takes out all the Marines and the siege tanks. Are you kidding me? We see so many Terrans, we see so many players, period, attack into those siege lines so poorly, but that was actually done with great execution.
I mean, what can Select do at this point? The thing that Strelok is doing so well is he's just really executing and really putting his dominant control all over the map. He's reinforcing well, but not too much. He's still got an army in his natural. If we look at Strelok's army, he's expanding, but not too quickly. He's got his command center just finished, hasn't even floated it off to another base. So I mean, if you're Select, what do? You really have to, when you're behind, you have to find a mistake that your opponent's doing and take advantage of it. And I don't see too many mistakes that Strelok's doing, and not too many that can really be abused by Select.
I am not seeing too many either. You know, right now there is a small window of opportunity where Select's Marines do have better upgrades than his opponent, but that will change very, very soon. And as you can see, there's a huge force coming to reinforce what is already out there. So we're seeing a missile turret being put down as well, which is great for anything that might be able to capture some vision. We do see another Select medevac loaded up. Curious to see what he's going to do with that, just following the little green line. It looks like he's just going to go all the way over into the natural, directly into the mineral line. But look at this. We could have a little volley up here.
Yeah, we got Siege on the lower ground, getting hit by a tank of Select. Strelok trying to work into the high ground. Looks like he's not able to make that happen. Bit of back and forth going on here. It's difficult with these colors to figure out what exactly is going on, but it looks like Select has regained control of his main base. And I mean, it doesn't even matter if Strelok donates a few armies to waste time, because he's sitting on a third base and he's sitting on way more harvesters. We can see he's got a planetary fortress, actually, as we've got a drop in the top right. Marines running right into that giant, how do I even pronounce this? Ibix cannon. Anyway, it's a big gun, and that is going to shut down that drop very quickly.
Ibix cannon, I think, was appropriate. So more Marines loaded up here and trying to just make their way through the map. And you were talking about little mistakes you can try to capitalize, something like that. And really, everywhere that Select has looked, he has been able to find absolutely nothing. It does look like he's going to move out right through the middle, and he's going to walk right into a siege line without... Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I'll take bad decisions for 2,000, Alex. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
Damn, son. Do not attack that.
Man. And you know what's sad is that I actually think that the force of Select was pretty reasonable right there. There were 3 siege tanks right there. I guess another in the back line. He just knew immediately. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a scan there would have been really nice. That's really unfortunate. Strelok, you know, congratulations, making it in. He's
nice.
One player that we obviously know is now in it, filling out all of the rest. And wow, Chill. Wow.
You know, going into this, I don't know about you, Wheat, but I thought Select was a favorite. Not by a big margin, but I definitely felt like his harassment was going to be too much for Strelok to deal with. And I mean, this series showed me, at least in TVT, Strelok is here to play.